Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to show you this Craftsman. Still working on the basement down here, trying to get everything arranged to make a better work area, but kind of taking a break from that. It's getting to be a real handful, but I wanted to show you this Craftsman. 2005 42cc 16-inch bar. Picked it up dirt cheap. It was guy sold it to me cheap. He said he bought it at an estate auction years ago. Used it one time, and he must have took care of it. It's that with the chains new. He said when he bought it, he bought a new chain for it, and so he didn't say how much he paid for the saw from the estate auction, but he was basically just trying to recoup some of his money for the new chain that he bought. And it doesn't even look like it's been used to me, but so we'll dig into it. He said he doesn't know if it still runs. It's just been sitting downstairs for years, and so we'll see. You know how it is. You got to take people's word for it. 16-inch easy adjust bar. Just a pool light extreme starting system. But he was nice enough. I didn't laugh when he showed me, but he was nice enough to tell me that he marked that so I knew what it was. Of course, you know, I never tell people what I do with these when I buy them. So, you know, he didn't have a clue if I knew what I was doing or not. But it's covered in dust, and it's the usual routine. You know, we pick them up. Dirt cheap. People tired of having them sitting around, and we'll see if she runs. I'll get the top off of it, get the exhaust off, and everything moves smooth. Linkage works. It turns over. It's the only thing I've tried. I wasn't even going to try that, and he insisted on it. So while he was there, he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and turn it over. It ain't got no fuel in it, so it won't start." And he said, "Just want to show you that it turns over." So it turns over. So I'll get some of the plastic and stuff off. We'll take a look, see if anything's missing. Get the exhaust off. Take a look at the cylinder and see what everything looks like. All right, got the top off, muffler off. This thing looks like Home Light in Poland had a baby. There's no kidding. The muffler is pretty much the same as the one that we done, where we took those out. The other one, yeah, Home Light Poland. One of them was I had to go look, but we took the two center pieces out, and it opened it up some, let it breathe. The cover, I think the muffler might have been on the Home Light. It's the same, almost identical cover on the Poland. Get it up in there. Where we had to trim it, we replaced the carb on it and had to trim this plastic piece right here after we replaced the carb. Same setup there as the Poland. Same setup in the back as the Poland. You got the air filter, 3 holes at the bottom. Same deal, man. Looks like the same identical carb. Comes out the same way. You got 2 bolts, the one at the top. It's got the same big rubber grommet there. When that cover sets down, tucks tight straight over that rubber right there. So the only air that gets in, I mean, air can get around it, of course, but your biggest spot for air is where your low-high screws are at. Up here in the front just a little bit. And that is pretty much it. Whatever can sneak through around that curve right there. And same linkage as the one Poland. If you guys you probably can't see it. There's the same linkage on that carb, but you got to kind of expect it. You know, a lot of stuff is mass produced. I think it was the first Poland we had was this style, the yellow Poland Pro. So we'll check for, see what we get for some spark. Hopefully something. There's a cylinder. I guess I could have showed you that. That cylinder is almost freaking spotless in there. That part I was really surprised. You can see the piston sleeve there. It is clean. No scratches, no nothing. This thing's like brand new on the inside. Single ring piston. And you probably can't see that well in there. I don't have any lights set up down here yet. I'm going to get some to hang from the ceiling. But you can kind of see in there. It is clean, clean. No carbon whatsoever. So, let's see if we got some sparkage going on here. And I took the old plug out. I don't have a, let's see if I can clean that filter up some. Took the old one out. It looked like it burnt good. Nothing unusual on it. We got a new one here we'll stick in. See if we get some spark, man, I hope. I haven't looked at the fuel lines yet, but we'll see about that. Sure, yeah, it's on. Oh yeah. Got some good spark, so we're good there. So now it's going to come down to the fuel system. Yeah, the lines are, they're hooked up. I think it's definitely going to need a new primer. It's folding right over. Oh, damn. But I have that style, so that's no big deal. Let's see what we got. Yeah. A little bit of old fuel in there, not much. Yeah, we'll get that hooked back up. It's got a filter on it. It's good to know. Alright. Let's see what we can do. We'll check the primer. Pretty sure it's the same style I have brand new over there, so it's definitely getting changed. That thing, it's rock, pretty much rock hard. When you push it, it just kind of just like folds in. You know, it's got that real old feel to it. So I'll go ahead and put it. Put a new one in it since I have them. I'll get all this apart, take a look at the fuel system, and see what we have. Alright, so the lines are toast. Here's the primer. As soon as I attempted to even try to remove it, it's split in half. So it's definitely trash. The one line up here for the this one's for your primer. Tried to slide it off the carb. As soon as I even tried to move it, it snapped right off. Fuel line same way on the other side. As soon as I tried to slide it off the nipple, straight in half. So the bad thing is, well, it's not real bad, but these are set up like the one Poland's we was doing, the green ones. They have it's a formed case. It doesn't have the rubber grommets and stuff like that in there for the lines to slide through. It's just hard plastic. And so the easiest way I found to do them is your primer, your purge ball primer, whatever you want to call it, where the fuel feeds back after it cycles through the carb when you're pumping it. It's good. It's on the far side of the carb. Your main fuel line is on this side of the carb. So your main fuel line is on this side. Primer's on this side. So your primer has to run all the way across the case, and these are a formed case. So it's little bit more of a hassle because you got to cut. The easiest way I found to do it was on your fuel line. You have to cut it a little longer than what you usually would. Because, you know, most of them, how we do it is we'll just cut the line, you know, at an angle, feed it down through, and then grab it with the hemostats, you know, and then draw it down into the tank. These, you have to. The easiest way I found for it was to cut the line a lot longer. It was probably 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches, something like that. Had to cut it long ways up through so we could get a piece long enough to feed down through the plastic, and then was able to reach in and grab it and then start drawing it down. And you definitely want to lube your line with something to help it slide through that plastic. I remember, I think the first time I tried it, and it seemed like it was going easy and had it drawn down in, and it got in there and got a lot of tension on it, and the piece I trimmed, it actually started snapping apart and had to pull it back out, lube it up, and then it went straight through with no problem. So that's what I'm about to do now. And it looks like the carb, the adjustment tool on it is the what was that, 21 spline, I think is what it was on the one Poland. It was the Poland or the home light, but it's the same setup. So yeah, same setup. So it'd be the Polands. The home lights were different. These ones, it's set up just like a Poland, the old school Poland, like the Wild Thing and Wood Shark, stuff like that. And I think it's what it was. I'm not sure. It could have been a Poland Prime. I've been messing with so many of them, but it's got the 2-piece on it. I think actually, I'm sorry, there was the Poland Pro that was set up like that. The other weird thing I found out, I took the pull string cover off. Now down here on the manufacturer sticker, it has the date and everything. It's a 2005 42cc. On the pull string cover, it has 16-inch bar, 36cc. So that was probably replaced. I ran the actual model number off the sticker there on the case, and it does come back as a there was two models. One was a 42cc 16-inch, and the other one's a 42cc 18-inch bar wise. So there was somebody must have replaced the cover on that one from a 36cc, which is kind of weird, but whatever, it fits, whatever works for you. But I'll get started on that because that can be a little bit time consuming, and I don't want to hold you guys up with that. So then the easiest way to do it is just when you snip it, just give yourself some extra, lube it up so you can draw it down. And you want to do your primer side first. So that's the farthest one over here going down. It'd be to the right hand side of the saw, as if you was holding it. It'd be the right hand side. You want to do that one first because it goes down. Then it has to run all the way underneath the carburetor to this side to your purge ball. So I'll get started on that, and once I get them hooked up, I shall return. Alright, see if we can get this old Craftsman to fire up. So far we got new fuel lines, fuel filter, spark plug. Let's try that. Choke. Hoping. I did take and check the carb while I had it off. Made sure the screen on top of the carb was clean. Carb was like brand new on the inside, it looked like, which, you know, take that for granted. Come on. Not even hitting. Alright. Let's try priming this sucker. I did take, It's a lot like those Poland's as far as the air intake is concerned. I think this one fits it. There it goes. So I made a couple extra holes for the intake side. Nothing extreme, just enough to get a little, breathing room in there. This one's the same way when the cover's on, and that sucker's tight. All you have is you got your high-low screws and I think your idle set screw. There's 3 holes right there and a little bit right here around the choke lever. And you're on and off. That's pretty much it. Make sure we're getting some fuel up in here. Okay, dokie. Filter off. Yeah, looks like it's getting fuel. Maybe I just flooded it out. Get some air. Well, we'll try priming it. See if it'll help. Maybe just ain't drawn it up through the carb yet. And definitely got fuel now. Like too much fuel. I don't have a spark plug socket out here with me to try to drain it out. Hell, the plug out, they didn't tighten the plug up. I don't think. Nope. Yeah, it's blowing a bunch out, so it's definitely getting fuel. Oh, there it kicked. Home. bad. Can't complain about that. It was basically bought the chain. This guy just wanted his money back for the chain. So we bought the chain, the saw came with it. This thing runs good. I did take and like I was saying on the covers a lot like how that Pullman was. You just got the 3 at the bottom. So I just added some small holes in the cover for the air filter. Top I done off to the side. Give it 4 little ones there. I thought about it. I almost put a couple on this side, but I figured that's good enough. The muffler I gutted, kind of like how I done the other Pullman out. It had the 2 tubes. That was, you take this cover off, and you got the two screws that go in to hold the muffler on. Took those off. Sure enough, took a flathead, and both of them popped right loose. Slid them out. This one I did kind of open up the exhaust a little bit right here. As you can tell that or not, just tweaked it just a little bit just to open it up. I was going to make a modded muffler for it, and I figured, well, do some research first, and got online, checked out a couple different sites, and recommendation on them for, I was wanting to make one. I was going to hollow it out and make a tube welded in right there, and a tube that comes out to the side, you know, just to give it a little character. And came across some forums on there, and that's what they was talking about with these home saws. They're stock, that they don't recommend doing it, and so it actually hurts the saw's performance compared to a bigger saw that's been ported, you know, for new pistons and, you know, all that good stuff, high compression and all that. So all I done to it was just took the 2 tubes out. So with this tube's out, it opens up the whole chamber and lets it flow right here. You know, comes right out, flows good, and saw runs freaking great, man. So it was like 25. I think it was $25 for the whole saw, the way you see it sitting there. Besides what we done to it, but like I was saying in the beginning, the label that was on it said it was 36cc 16-inch, but the actual label back here that has the model number, serial number, you know, and all that year it was made, on here it says it's a 42cc, and I took the time to look it up, and I did make this model 42cc with a 16-inch bar and 18-inch bar. So it's someone must have reached in. Actually, it's this side where the pull string was at. They must have got this off of another saw or something. So since they done that, we went ahead and made our own labels for it. These are pretty cool. Cry cut, man. So we got that on the pull string side, which I still gotta, it actually needs adjustment, but we got this on this side, then put the Generation X label on the other side, and she runs good, man. I need to tighten that spark plug back up, and 25 bucks. Just all on the primer, purge ball. So the only thing I done to it was the purge ball on it, replaced the fuel lines. The filter was still good, so I reused the filter, and had to tune it a little bit to make up for the muffler for being out there. Since it breathes different, you have to, you almost always have to adjust them. And this is the one, I think I mentioned it in there. It doesn't have the regular tensioner on it like most of them. You see how they got the screw that goes in from the bottom. Doesn't have that. Just has this one. You get your bolts in there, you know, you get them, well, the way I always done, I get them kind of snug, not to where they're grabbing real hard, just kind of snug, and then you, where the little slot is right there, you turn it, takes the tension out, and you're ready to rock and roll. So the saw actually runs good. Had me worried there for a minute. I didn't think it was going to start. It just wasn't getting fuel up through the system yet, and then a little too much gas on the priming side. So take the plug out, blow the extra fuel out, no problem. So anyway, this one's definitely a win, and got on there looking for some more, and nothing local right now. Everything's an hour to 2 away if you want it cheap, which sucks. But so it might be a week or two, because I got to get on that basement. And the little work area I got it's getting close to being done, but I got to do the whole basement now. So I found a bunch of bad spots on the other side, so I got to start. We threw away a bunch, but got to move stuff over to seal it, then move stuff over to the other side so we can seal the middle on the other side. And it's a handful, more than what I was bargaining for, but it needs done. So in the house turned 101 this year, so you got to expect it. So if you don't see a video from us on these old saws or weed eaters and mowers, stuff like that for a couple weeks, that is why I got to get this basement done. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. So this is a Sears Craftsman 2005 model, 42cc, and we got lucky on it. It's the winter. Just gotta tighten that plug back up, and you can see, it's what I was trying to explain to you guys in the Pulling Pros. You can see on this one how it that arch, how it comes all the way down and around. If you've seen that Pulling Pro video, it comes all the way down and around. And there's that rubber hump that goes across right here. Once it seals down, it makes it tight, so you end up with your throttle adjustment hole, and you got your low and high hole. And other than that, it's a pretty solid fit, so I can see why they're talking about they struggle for air. So I'll let you guys go. I don't want to hold you up. Sun's setting, but finally got time to get it done. I've been messing with it 2 or 3 days now, but thanks for watching. A couple more subscribers, thank you very much. Always love that. And get this thing back together, get it back down into the basement and out of the way with the rest of them, and I'll catch you in the next one. And hopefully it won't take me too long to get another one out, but I'll make it as quick as I can. Thanks for watching, guys.